13, over.
Good morning, 13. You're early.
So I just thought we'd wake you up, and we're awake and getting the spacecraft ship shape and see the light.
Roger. Spacecraft's in real good shape as far as we're concerned, Jim. We're bored to tears down here. We do have a few little items for you, but there's no rush about them. Over.
Okay, I think if we get in a few minutes, we'll bring out some food, and we'll copy them then.
Okay, and Surgeon will be ready for your sleep report whenever you get that together.
Righto, if he's listening, LMP had a solid 9 hours of sleep. I couldn't wake him up this morning. CMP had 6 hours, and the commander about 5 intermittent. The jack cylinder is reading to 02026.
Okay, we got it.
Might be interesting that just after we went to sleep last night, we had a master alarm, and it really scared us. And we rolled over the cockpit like a wet noodle.
Sorry it wasn't something more significant. I've also got a procedure for you on that H2 tank. Simple thing after you get done stirring up the cryos.
Okay.
That was beautiful. What was it?
A little with their eyes and saw it wake up.
Sounds like all the comforts of home. Have you guys got a flower on your breakfast table?
Yeah, Jack.
Okay everyone, and welcome to the Apollo 13 campaign of re-entry. We are now at about 47 hours into the flight, and the crew, as you heard over the comms, are waking up and having their breakfast, so they're going through their eat period. Okay, let's cycle the cryos. 1 minute. Okay.
Houston, Apollo 13, over.
13, this is Houston, go.
Roger, Joe, we're standing by for that B-37 block data. Do you have it for us?
Okay, got it right here, Jim, and it follows. This is the P-37 pad for liftoff plus 60. The reason for the update is for weather avoidance in the MPL at 119 hours. Same as the one we passed you yesterday, and it's the same weather, but we still don't expect a problem at the end of the mission. GETI is 06000. Delta VT 6079er. Longitude minus 153. GET 400K 11804. Over.
So that's a short little P-37 pad, and you can write it down into this form if you would like.
GETI of 06000 6079 minus 153 11804.
Roger, that's correct. I've got a consumables update for you, Jim, if you're ready for that.
Ready, copy.
Okay, as of 47 hours, RCS total 1096, Quad Alpha 270, Bravo 278, Charlie 270, Delta 278. And the H2, they gave me the H2s in percent, 76%. And on the O2 we have 81%. However, we show the O2 tank 2 reading off scale high now. We're quite sure it's a sensor failure. We'd like you to verify it with your onboard reading.
Okay, stand by. Joe, we confirm our gauge reading is the number 202 tank is reading off scale high now, but tank just tells me it was okay when you first looked at it this morning.
We verify that. At 46:45 we had 82%, and apparently when he stirred the cryos, the sensor broke. So it's no problem. You're above nominal on all your consumables. On the H2 tank problem, we have a procedure that we'd like you to carry out, which is simply turning the H2 tank 2 heaters to off at this time. And we want to see whether that won't solve the problem of the tank pressure setting off caution and warning. We want to look at it that way for a few hours.
Okay, you want both H2 tank heaters to off, is that correct?
That's negative, just tank 2. We want tank 1 to stay in auto.
Okay, tank 2 heaters off at this time.
Okay, good deal. That's been the high tank, and apparently while waiting for that pressure switch to close to start the heater cycle, the tank 1 pressure has been dropping even a little bit lower and just setting off caution and warning. So we feel that if we turn off the tank 2 heater and let tank 1 activate the heater cycle, we won't get into the caution and warning range.
Roger.
Okay, Jim, at your convenience, we'd like to and accept. We're ready to uplink you state vector now, since we will not do mid-course 3. Over.
Roger, your input accept, and no mid-course 3, and we're all set for state vector update.
Okay, good deal. Since we're not going to do mid-course 3, we'd like LEM entry at 55 hours. Is that okay with you?
Okay, well, right, that's fine with us. We'll move up LEM entry to 55 hours.
Okay, so no mid-course correction 3 burn. Since that's not needed, our trajectory is fine. And they moved the LM entry to 55 hours.
Apollo 13, Houston.
Go ahead, Joe.
One thing we'd like to have done sometime soon is to have you cycle the cryo fans in O2 tank 2 one more time. We'd like to see if we can get that sensor back.
Okay, the issue here is that the sensor is showing off scale high, and the other issue they've been having is that the H2 tank has been setting off caution and warning light, and they're trying to kind of remedy and figure out why that happens.
Okay, go on. O2 tank 2 fan on now.
Roger. Apollo 13, Houston.
Go ahead, Joe.
to have the O2 tank 2 fan off, and thank you.
Doesn't look like we got it back.
No, it doesn't, Jack. Apollo 13, Houston, over.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, Jack, I'd like to pass you a switch configuration on the Cryo O2 tanks and give you the reason. Right now, we'd like you to go to heaters, tank 1 off, tank 2 auto, which is the opposite of the way you've got them now, over.
Okay, is this O2 or H2?
This is O2, and stand by for a minute. We're having... excuse me, this is H2, Jack. It's H2.
Okay, we lost you again. Here's our heater configuration now. H2 heaters 1 off. 2 auto. Both O2 heaters are in auto.
Okay, that's the configuration we want you in, and here's what we're thinking about. When we went to tank 1 auto, tank 2 off, we found that the heater cycled at a tank 1 pressure of about 233 psi, which is well above the caution and warning limit. And if we go to that configuration for sleep, we'll keep from getting caution and warning lights during the sleep cycle. Okay, in order to do that comfortably, we want to spend the rest of the day using more H2 out of tank number 2 so as to get an unbalance in favor of tank 1, so at the end of the sleep cycle it'll all come out even. And that's why we have you in tank 1 off, tank 2 auto now. We expect to get about a 3% unbalance over the next 10 hours, and prior to sleep we'll call you to reverse the configuration again. Now the only disadvantage here is that during the day you will probably get a few caution and warnings, and we just figured it'd be better to get them now than while you were sacked out, over.
I'll buy that 100%.
Apollo 13, Houston.
Go ahead,
Roger 13. Because of the O2 tank 2 quantity sensor dropout, Ecom wants to keep a little closer track of the cryo quantities, and he's going to be asking you to stir all the cryo tanks at slightly more frequent intervals than have been planned. And the first time is now, and we'll be calling you probably every 5 or 6 hours, except during sleep periods and high activity periods. We'd like you to do it now, over.
Okay, we'll start a cryo stir now.
Thank you. And 13 Houston, for your information, a normal 1 minute or so stir will be fine. Apollo 13, Houston.
Go ahead, Houston.
Jim, just advisory, expect a caution and warning on H2 tank 1. Pretty quick, no problem, just warning you about it.
Okay, cryo pressure load on H2 tank 1 come around shortly, huh?
Right.
Okay. Well, you're pretty close. It just came on.
And don't care about the glycol temp low. I have an in development thing which will basically keep this on at all the time currently until I'm completely done with that implementation. So just look away from the glycol temp low on these recordings. However, we now see that the cryo pressure has come on and that the pressure has been reduced on H2 tank 1. Heater is off, so there's nothing that could kind of try and maintain that nominal pressure on that tank. But this is all part of their procedure, and it's all good.
We just need a can of ham salad, and that was an experience.
Right, copy.
It's really kind of like eating on the fly. Takes a minute around.
Right, copy.
But good.
They're now in another eat period, and the coasting is part of a journey where sometimes it's very busy and sometimes they need to execute maneuvers, and other times it's quite calm and the crew has a lot of time to take procedures and execute them slowly.
Houston, Apollo 13.
13, Houston, go ahead.
All right, we're not doing anything right now, Vance. We're just kind of curious. We can start the lab entry procedures and get everything squared away. And then when the TV comes up at 55 hours, we can just use it for the TV if we want to be worried about checking out the sheet tank pressures and everything like that.
Okay, let us mull that one a minute here and I'll get right back with you.
Also, Houston, Apollo 13, we'd like to move up the wastewater dump and maybe the O2 fuel cell purge a little bit early if you could.
Okay, stand by.
So there's an upcoming TV transmission which is going to be broadcasted live from inside of the cockpit, and if I recall correctly, everything is scheduled to be at around 55 hours, and right now they want to kind of get a lot of those procedures about entering the LEM and doing the purge and so on, and wastewater dump, before it's getting busy with the TV transmission.
Apollo 13, Houston.
Go ahead, Houston.
Jim, you're cleared to go on into the LEM, and just advise, though, that the TV time is still fixed at 55 hours, and so we'll be standing by to support your entry, and we'll get back with you in a minute on the O2 fuel cell purge and the wastewater dump.
Okay, sounds good.
13 from Houston, it's okay with us if you want to move the O2 fuel cell purge and the wastewater dump up to this time, over.
Okay, we'll work it in shortly. Thank you.
Okay, we're clear to proceed with the wastewater dump, so let's get it down to 25%. So let's open the checklist. There we go, and hit run. Dump A, then we will monitor the dump, and I'll use timescale. Okay, and that's about 25%. Pressure relief back to 2. Then we are going to do the O2 fuel cell purge. So open the checklist, and then EPS, fuel cell purge, run. And this is the O2. starting with fuel cell number 1. Two minutes. Next one. Then the last one. Okay, and keep in mind that this is in depth, so there's a couple of things that I'm still adjusting on these flow rates.
Okay, Houston, the wastewater dump and O2 fuel cell purge are complete.
Houston, roger.
Okay, Houston, we're going to go ahead with
Houston, roger.
gas removal. Okay, the LMP is entered the LEM.
Roger.
Is that Big John?
Sure is. How you doing?
Fine.
Yeah, you're doing great, man.
I had a good CDR.
You're doing it on your own now.
Yeah, it feels like I'm back at home again, John Dennon here.
Roger.
Okay, Houston, we want to take the FM and bring up TV here for our own use. Then we'll go to transmit when at 55 hours.
Roger, 13.
Okay, now let's run the LM sheet check test. We should be in the CTAB. So this is a special checklist for LM, so follow the in-game steps.
Okay, Houston, we've transferred to LEM power. The time was 54 hours, 46 minutes, 15 seconds.
Roger, Jack. Transfer to LEM power. Thank you.
And by the way, these checklists here, and they're all available here if you're curious, so you can check them out. And if you go to the activation checklist for LM systems, there should be the IVT. To CSM. IVT to LM. Anyways, let's continue to follow the in-game steps. I also noticed that in the mission script file, I have an offset of when the audio was played compared to what the mission timer said on the previous couple of messages, so I'll of course fix that. As mentioned, this is the first time I'm running through this campaign after creating it, so we'll see how everything goes.
Okay, we're back on CSM power.
Okay, now we are done with the initial LN procedures, so we are all good to go, and we'll start the TV transmission pretty soon.
And 13, we're ready on the TV when you are.
The TV transmission is available on YouTube video. If you're curious of seeing how that went, it's going to be a 32-minute long TV footage, and the link will be in the description. So thank you for watching this video. The journey towards the moon continues in the next one.